Hello, this is Alekius, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where we're continuing the Hurry Up mission. Now, I think it was fairly obvious it was going a little slow, and we have those 5-inch guns. I wanted it to go a little bit faster. The destroyers are the ones who took us out. And actually, what's the thought on doing an armored cruiser instead? Well, the hull form suffers, not a surprise. But we'll take less. Oh, you can even do destroyers. Less weight is what I'm looking at. I'm almost tempted. What kind of main guns do we have available? Up to 11-inch. I'm okay with that. Let's give it a whirl. We'll see what happens. The max speed 38. Turbines, oil, balanced. Up 4. Definitely gonna need the barbettes now. Now that we know it has those destroyers, we're gonna want those as well. All the things that make it super heavy. I'm thinking Cordite 1. Yeah, let's do Cordite 1. In particular, just for the raw damage. Not going with Lyddite though, because of the ammo detonation chance. It's actually not that much more. But neither is the damage, and the penetration suffers. Do our 19-inch. If we get any. Coincidence? No. Stereoscopic? Yes. Radio? No. Alright, so let's get the main tower in. Looking at how much of an improvement and how much weight that costs. Rear tower as well. Get the main guns. Is there any chance at all of... No, because you need the hard points for the barbettes. We're not getting something in there. It's interesting. I hadn't noticed that. Well, I'd noticed it, but I hadn't played around with them to look to see what it was. That is interesting. How they arranged for that. So we want 11-inch guns. 4. And aft. Which I know that's close to the superstructure, hurts the arc. But that's not too bad. Let's see, what else do we need? Do dual 5-inch. There. Essentially the same as the battlecruiser. No casemates to worry about, is there? Yes, we can put the 2-inch on. For what they're worth. And then we can just put some underwater torpedoes. Then we have max speed. Can we... It's too expensive. We do need to reduce the speed some. Increase the weight. We'll do full length in that case. Okay, so we can put the forward superstructure all the way back. An aft offset. Yeah, we should be able to fix that. Why is that red? There it goes. Then we'll grab the funnels. If we're doing 35 knots, try one big, actually, one big funnel, not enough. Go to forced. Funnel capacity does not change that much between these. Use small funnels then. Gets us to 60% engine efficiency and makes her heavier. Oh, that weight's brutal. For the 11-inch guns, we're looking at 16 inches of penetration. So good luck armoring against that. But we'll try. Deck wise, let's go for 4-inch deck. That's within 10 kilometers. And that belt will not be sufficient. But we're going to have to count on the barbettes. I have a feeling we're just going to get ammo detonated. Bring her down to 32 knots. Or do we push for 36 and just deal with it? I think we just deal with it. Bring that down to 8. At least make an attempt. Check some vitals. Deck's a little bit heavy. Knife fight range will be dangerous. Hydraulic, we have enhanced loading. I think I'll keep that. Standard shells. 36 oil. Drop the shaft. We really need the bulkheads too, because of the lack of armor. It really doesn't cost that much in weight. take a look at weights and costs. Engines costing the most, not a surprise. Hull, small funnel, bulkheads, advanced tower. Most of it's unimpressive. It's mostly the engine costing us in weight. So do we go for 2? Can we get down to 2? Looks doable. But what do we sacrifice in cost to get down to having 2? These are turning into gunnery platforms more than anything else. Cost-wise, lose the tower. That is a pretty heavy expense right now. Can we go down to balanced? Can we go down to induced? Can we go down to natural? There's the funnel capacity, but brings down the weight quite significantly. Then I can save cost by reducing the size. And we fitted on the smaller platform anyways before. Almost minimum. And it's linked to the wrong tower. And our casemates, which cost and weigh nothing. Can we move this a little bit forward? Way too far forward. But I want to see if I can tick that up. Then we can bring the gun back to a more reasonable area. Squeeze the aft tower in. And then changing my mind and going back the other way. Maybe I just gap the center. There we go. Nice and relatively balanced. Except I'm going to remove the 5-inch and then place them where they can take advantage of that gap. Although they block each other. Do we want them to be able to fire more forward or more aft? Let's do that one. And then what we'll do is we'll remove these side ones up forward and we'll unlink them. And build them there instead. That's still off by a little. Still forward offset. I know, do I really need to perfectly balance this? No. But here we are. Cost-wise, how much does the rear tower cost? See it on there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the forward tower is the expensive one. If I go induced, I can drop funnels or extra weight, but the cost isn't coming down enough. I was hoping it would balance out. Cost is plus 20%. Theoretically, that works out pretty well, percentage-wise. $65, so we're still under funneled. I'm okay with that though. I think I have to ditch the forward tower and downgrade it one tick. I'm gonna lose a few things, but there we go. Get our 5-inch secondaries back up and running. And put them all more in an aft section. What casemates do we have on this one? Just the 2, which is fine. Those can fire. Aft's offset's 1%. I know I just fiddled with it a little bit to get it to be more than 1%, but here we are. Armor's terrible in my opinion. But that's my opinion. And the engine's just so expensive. I have some unused weight and I don't think I'm going to be able to use it. Just make them a little bit bigger. And that should be good. Spent enough time fiddling with this thing. Ah, I forgot the forward funnel. So they lose 200 tons to get that extra efficiency. And that does add a lot of cost and weight just to have one more capacity. What would that look like? Only lose 100 tons. We get a little bit more engine efficiency. The next one is a lot more cost though, so we're going to stay away from that one. I do not hold out great hopes for this ship, but we'll see what they can do. We smoke to the north. Ah, we start with the light cruisers. Where are the heavy cruisers? Right where they should be, going as fast as they can. Let's get turned completely around. With the cruisers. lay some smoke. We'll go aggressive. We're not expecting them to last very long. We'll stick with HE. Or the environmentals. Oh, terrible. Visibility is also terrible, apparently. Supposed to be coming from the north. There they are. Alright, let's get turned around. Drop to 27.5 knots, which will get our speed, cruise speed bonus. Like we have 7-inch. 4.1. Nice, and we're using HE. Oh, okay, that worked out. Drop the smoke now. What torpedoes do we have? Fore and aft, really. We have to turn into them. I'm not too keen to do. What range? 3.5 kilometers. "19-inch, fast. Is it even worth it? Well, we just took a hit on our aft cruiser. Let's try. See if we can get a torpedo into them. Our smoke's good for another 3 minutes. Battle cruiser has been identified. 15-inch. Ooh. Bad roll for me. Should be a decent angle for the torpedoes. Okay, this is too aggressive. Getting way too close. Oh, and they're launching all sorts of torpedoes. I didn't even get mine off. One close aft. See if we can get hard to port. See if we can get at least one torpedo off. There we go. We'll see if it hits anything. Looks like it's gonna miss. Nope. Hit that Augsburg. Alright, maybe I just have to manually target the torpedoes a little bit better. Our heavy cruisers are engaging their battle cruiser. For what that's worth. And Retribution is now sinking. Let's slow it down, 24 knots. lazy right-hand turn. These torpedoes have a little bit longer range. See those torpedoes coming in now. Let's cut in. Angle back out. Oh, we did launch a torpedo. Well, their armor is thin. I might be able to get AP into the battle cruiser. Yeah, those are penetrating. Mid-belt. Got a hit with the torpedo, which is lucky. Lots of flooding below decks. Oh, it's ×3. Like, this is going a little fast to track what's going on. Go back a little out again. Torpedo hit on transport. Okay. Now stay focused, guys. You've almost got the battle cruiser, and that's the biggest threat. Pumping the flooding down. Alright, come right now. Just trying to angle the armor as best I can for any hits on us. Five kilometers. Only got one more torpedo. But she's slow. And there goes the last torpedo. How about the Donegal? Donegal have any torpedoes left? Sure does. Save those. Actually, if you see a good shot, go for it. Oh! Bad hit on the Suffolk. Let's detach her. Oh, she's gonna go down. Yep, she just took a torpedo. Too slow on that reaction. We'll have her go due south direct. See if we can get her to survive a little bit longer. What's our hit percentage? 11%. Oh, the Suffolk's surviving. Interesting. At least they're out of ammo. Actually, does the Suffolk have? Oh, I was misreading. What I get. Oh, we can go to aggressive, get those torpedoes out. Oh, that was 15-inch. Do a hard turn. See if we can get another torpedo at relatively close range. And see if we can get turned around before she gets her broadside off. Alright, there's the torpedo launch. Go, 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 go. Close maneuvering on this one. And see if we can't get another torpedo off. Oh, she's starting to pump down the rest of the flooding too. Gotta hit. Let's get away from the broadside. See how that flooding works out. Okay, that wasn't enough, so let's come right. And there-ish. Come on, get that torpedo out. Alright. Hard turn. There's the torpedo. Switch to HE. All our APs were penetrating. I'm getting at extended range though. Torpedo's going to be coming from this direction. There it is. Looks like it's going to hit back aft. He's maneuvering. Too little, too late. Donk. Back aft. Flooding only in the far fantail. That's just not good enough. Where is she in her reload? Start our turn. might sink. So close. Oh, there we go. Hard to starboard. Transports are running. Suffolk will stay with them. Back, let's just tell you to attach escort wise. Ooh-wee. Destroyer. Save our torpedoes, but if you get a shot on them, please do. They have plenty of torpedoes left. Drop down to ×2. Get that angle so I can see the torpedoes coming in. No, we get the blinky now. %1 chance. Do a little bit harder now. 20 degrees left rudder. Yep, there are the torpedoes I was expecting. That one's almost done. She's gonna turn away. Gonna pop smoke. Do a slow 10 degrees right rudder maybe. 8. I'll settle for 8. A little bit slower. Got a couple 2-inch hits on her. 1 3-inch. Increase that to 20. Those torpedoes will be coming in soon. What kind of torpedoes do they use? Oh, it's bad. I'm gonna take 2 torpedoes and go down. 1, 2. Can I take them out first? We can monitor the flooding down here. Looks like it's stabilized. Certainly lost a lot of speed. Come on, you can do it. %10 chance to hit at this range. There we go. Pair of 5s. And she's a goner. Alright, who do we got left? Heavy cruiser this direction. APs can definitely go through. Come right. Pull in 6.5 knots. That's pretty terrible. Oh, you want to get close to this one? Realize I've still got torpedoes, don't you? Alright, couple 11-inch hits. Couple penetrations by them. 3 11-inch hits. All she has to do is get a belt hit. And the flooding will finish off. Poor Suffolk. Got another 11-inch hit. Flooding, rudder damage, which is good because we just launched a torpedo on that side. That it right there. As long as they don't slow her down too much. Oh yeah, there's the flooding. 2 more 11s on the Cormoran side. Yeah, and our torpedo's gonna go pass forward. Unless they're dumb and they turn right. Oh, that's so close. Horseshoes and hand grenades. We'll do full left rudder. About the Donegal. I don't care, just get those suckers out. And the Suffolk is almost done. She can avoid flooding, she can stay afloat for a little bit longer. Got flooding on the Cormoran. Was that on us? That was on us. I see the flotation going down again. Damage to their funnel. Ooh, flooding for them. That's good for the Donegal. Oh, and there goes the torpedo. More flooding for us. Seven kilometers away. Cormoran is maneuvering slowly. So that torpedo will probably miss unless they come starboard now. Which, if the camera's going to keep following them, yeah, pass too far forward again. Oh yes, outstanding. Too bad it didn't hit an engine. That's what I really need, because the Cormoran's just too fast right now. And there's apparently a destroyer out there still. I think this one is a loss, not for lack of trying. Given the newfound power of torpedoes, that a destroyer squadron doesn't sound half bad. Although this gives me hope, I might be able to do a more lightly armored battlecruiser. The problem being the engines are just so gosh darn expensive due to the turbines. Should convert a little bit of the weight I was saving into go for a larger cruiser. Switch to triple expansion. Usually less efficient by leaps and bounds, but it costs a lot less. Southwest. That destroyer decides it wants to come pick on my heavy cruiser. We might have a chance at this. Now is the Donegal. 1 5-inch battery down. Looks like 2 batteries, but that one is still active. Flotation really isn't all that bad. Yep, and that's going to be our last transport. I'll call it there. So the thought is probably going to be to cut this one down. Sacrifice the turbines. Yeah, look at that engine cost difference. Oh, but see, it is less efficient by a lot. You need so much more engine. Let's see, engines, boilers, 5.8 million down to 5.1. Like, turbines are just the way to go. But alas, it did not work out that well, so we'll look at possibly just redoing it. I think a little bit of it was luck with the placement of torpedoes on the light cruisers and what the enemy had, but we'll see. With that, I thank you for joining me. Appreciate you staying till the end. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Take care.